In the news, President Muhammadu Buhari accuses state governors of looting local government allocation. Governor Yahaya Bello presents 2023 estimated budget to members of the State Assembly for consideration. Governor Yahaya Bello again reiterates commitment to funding KOGI State Agency for Control of AIDS and State HIV Response Drive. China condemns British lawmakers of gross interference by MP's visit to Taiwan. This is the MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Joshua Adenoy. Thank you for joining us. The federal government has accused state governors of looting local government allocation. President Muhammadu Buhari disclosed this at a parley with members of the Senior Executive Course number 44-2022 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, held at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. At the Course 44 presentation themed Strengthening Local Governance in Nigeria, Challenges, Options, and Opportunities, President Buhari said the stunted development experienced at the local government level was caused by governors and local government officials who pocket public funds. President Buhari flayed the governors over what he described as poor governance at the grassroots. Citing a personal experience involving an unnamed governor, a baffled President Buhari described as terrible how some state governors receive money on behalf of local government councils in their states and remit half of it to the council chairman, who pilfers the remnant, leaving nothing for developmental projects. The president also pledged that his government would painstakingly consider for implementation the recommendations contained in the paper presented by the SEC 44, while claiming that his administration has done a lot to build trust between the government and the people. The president noted that the report would provide direction to deliver good governance to the people at the grassroots and ultimately win back their trust in government. Buhari's assertion came 24 hours after the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, said the governors had abandoned the critical demographic, preferring to spend state resources on the capital cities instead. Meanwhile, the National Union of Local Government Employees, NULGE, has also backed the federal government's stance that state governors were looting local government allocation. In a related development, some governors has excluded themselves from those looting local government allocation as accused by President Muhammadu Buhari. Those who reacted include Benue State Governor Samuel Otom, David Umahi of Ebonyi State, Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara State, Solomon Lalong of Plateau State, Dapo Abiodun of Osun State, and Yisim Wike of Rivers State. The governors said they were not among those diverting local government funds. KOGI State Governor Yahaya Bello has presented an estimated budget of over 172 billion naira for the year 2023 for consideration by the members of the State House of Assembly. The 2023 budget, tagged Budget of Transformation, according to Governor Bello, is higher by 4,788,825,095 naira compared to the 2022 budget, thus representing a 2.86% increase, in which, as against an estimated outlay of over 167 billion naira approved budget for year 2022. Our reporter, Faith Abdugafar, has more.
Governor Bello in his budget speech disclosed that the budget is targeted at achieving the desired peace, security, infrastructure development, healthcare delivery and quality education. The 2023 budget, tagged Budget of Transformation, according to Governor Bello, is higher by over 400 billion naira compared to the 2022 budget.
Our 2022 budget of accelerated result has been fulfilling so far in terms of what we have been able to accomplish with it despite drawbacks. And before I present the 2023 draft budget, I wish to give you brief highlights of its performance as a close of work on September 30th, 2022. The total revised budget for the year 2022 was 167.3 billion for both recurrent and capital expenditures. The approved recurrent revenue for the year 2022 was 113.3 billion, out of which 65.5 billion was collected as at the end of September 2022, representing 57.81% performance. The revised capital receipt for the same period was 53.9 billion, out of which 19.2 billion was realized, representing 35.59% performance as at the end of September 2022. A total sum of 100.71 billion was approved as recurrent expenditure in 2022, out of which the sum of 64.69 billion was spent as at September 2022, representing 64.21% performance. The approved revised capital expenditure for 2022 was 66.58 billion, out of which the sum of 22.58 billion was expended as of September 2022, representing 33.41% performance. Despite shortfalls in funding the 2022 budget, we still recorded above average completion in projects, policies, and targets set off for the period.
Governor Bello also referred to the budget as the people's budget and said the 2023-2025 multi-year budget is premised on zero-based budgeting principles and is tailored towards the actualization of the state development plans.
Our objective for focusing on these sectors is to make the state a healthy tourist center, enhance the creation of new job opportunities for Kogi State, especially youth and women, and create a well-secured polity that will boost commerce, trade and investment in spite of the prevailing circumstances elsewhere. Another objective that will quickly become clear as the House scrutinizes this budget proposal is our resolve to end Kogi State overdependence on federation accounts for our incomes. This is a trend we must begin to end, and no time is better than the present. Now that we understand better why today's event is holding at the Speaker's Lodge instead of the purpose-built facilities of the Kogi State House of Assembly, let me make an undertaking that your destroyed chambers will be built back better and that you will soon be able to sit there again to discharge your duties.
Governor Bello further explained that the budget would ensure food security, exploit the full potential of the economy.
This brief budget speech is not the place to present a full list of all that we have built or innovated or accomplished in pursuit of our mandate as a government. Suffice it to say that our new direction administration has justified and will continue to justify the confidence that Kogi State have reposed in us. Our year 2023 budget draft is designed for enhanced mobilization of internally generated revenue, collection of debt owed us by the federal government, recovery of state equity share in Obajana Cement Company, provision of a more conducive environment for our developmental partners from all over the world to contribute to the state's economy. Also, this instrument is drafted to further attract private sector investments to the state, encourage public-private partnership, enhance completion of ongoing projects while bringing on board new as time and funds will permit, and most importantly, eliminate wastes and leaks from the state revenue value chain. This is why, as stated earlier, this draft budget for 2023 is proposed as a budget of transformation. The key assumptions informing our projections for the year 2023 are contained in the table below. The national inflation at 17.16%, national real GDP growth 3.35%, the state inflation, state GDP growth, state GDP actual, oil production benchmark of about 1.69 million per barrel, oil price bench of $17 per barrel, and exchange rate of about 435 to the dollar.
The 2023 budget, which has a recurrent expenditure of over 101 billion naira, representing 58.87% of the budget, has over 70 billion naira as capital, representing 47.13% of the budget. Also aims at establishing the necessary framework for a robust mining and solid minerals sector, improve the road work in urban and rural areas, as well as improve the quantity, quality, and access to safe water for domestic, commercial, and industrial uses.
We have administrative sector with an allocation of 48,018,416,023, representing 27.94%. Economic sector with an allocation of 53,740,042,951 naira, representing 31.23%. Law and justice sector has allocation of 7,131,229,533 naira, representing 4.14%. The social sector has an allocation of 63,139,098,785 naira, representing 36.69%. making a total allocation of 171,090,787,292 naira, making 100%. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me now present to you the year 2023 budget, draft budget for your consideration and approval. The total budget package for the year 2023 is 172,90,787,292 naira, as against 167,301,962,197 naira approved in the revised budget of year 2022, which is an increase of 4,788,822,095 naira, or 2.86% when compared with the 2022 approved revised budget.
Earlier, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole, commended the administration of Governor Yahaya Bello.
May I reiterate once again that these achievements registered by the 7th Assembly are clearly product of Your Excellency's cooperation and support to the House, especially during our recent moment of grief when the House got engulfed with fire. Premises on this. I want to appreciate and commend Your Excellency for this strenuous, harmonious working relationship between the legislative and executive arm of government in our dear state. As a young and dynamic political player who have demonstrated uncommon leadership capacity, may I assure Your Excellency, sir, that your future political dream is not over. We shall continue to pursue same of placing Kogi State ahead of other without compromise. For judicious use of the limited state resources, which had paved way for certain infrastructural development in the state. I want to say big thank you for rewarding architectural phase of the state headquarters with the first flyover bridge, accompanied with rehabilitation of inter-road networks in Lokoja, Kaba, Ida, Ampa, etc. The reference hospital, Okene, an uncommon edifice with the state-of-the-art equipment and rehabilitation of the specialist hospital, Lokoja, establishment of a functional faculty of health science at the Prince Abubakar Abdul University, Ayamba, the ultramodern diagnostic health facility at Gigo, and a germane achievement that are people-centered project that require our appreciation as representative of the people. In the same vein, the establishment of Confluence University of Science and Technology, Osara, which did not only bring university education closer to our doorsteps, but provide employment opportunity to our people, cannot be eulogized at a better time than now, when the budgetary provision for more projects in the present is being presented before the House.
And named the first flyover after him.
Few among the numerous reasons why, as representatives of the people, we owe you gratitude. The flyover bridge is indeed a monumental achievement with a life historical consequences. On this premise, I wish to move that the flyover, the first ever flyover bridge in Lokoja in Kogi State, be named GYB flyover. Those in favor of this motion say aye. Aye. Those who against say nay. The ayes have it.
Kogi Governor Bello commended the Assembly for passing over 100 bills into law. Faith Abdul-Ghaffar reporting for MLC Tv.
Kogi State Government has begun the enumeration exercise of Kogi COVID-19 Action and Recovery Economic Stimulus, KG-KES, Result Area 3 for Operational, Credit and ICT Enhancement Grant in collaboration with the Bank of Industry. The exercise is expected to cater for over 2,000 small and medium enterprises, SMEs, in the state. They are to benefit from a $6.8 million grant of COVID-19 response stimulus program. The program, according to the Managing Director, Kogi State Enterprise Development Agency, KEDA, Rekia Onaivosani, is a 2-year program set to begin disbursement for the first batch of beneficiaries in no distant time. Our reporter has more.
The program, according to the Managing Director of Kogi State Enterprises Development Agency, Rekia Onaivosani, is a 2-year program and is set to begin disbursement for the first batch of the beneficiaries.
What we are doing is to look at the documentations for the businesses that we have already, that were selected based on the eligibility criteria, just for the first batch, to check the business operation, the procedures, the BVN details, and do capturing for those businesses according to the clusters that were already identified. That's basically second to the last stage for eligible applicants prior to disbursement.
She said it's being implemented by KEDA and it is one of the projects in the 3 resort area under the 11th and covers businesses that borrowed money from the bank or financial institution but were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kogi State Enterprise Development Agency is implementing 3 resort areas. That's the LI 1, 2, 3. One is for those businesses that borrowed money from the bank or financial institution that because of COVID-19 they have been affected and were not able to pay these loans. That's the first part. The second part is targeting operations, those that are paying salaries, those that have pay rent and all other operation costs to run their businesses. Then the third one is ICT enhancement. We all know that ICT plays a very critical role in running businesses. Nowadays we have businesses that persons can sit down in their homes and even actually do not need to hold shop and do business. Some of these persons were selected under the last year, like that's ICT enhancement. The beneficiaries are going to be put through a training, and then some disbursement will be made so we enable them to run their business with the use of ICT.
She disclosed to the public the benefits packages.
It is a grant to enhance businesses. They are not expected to pay back, but depending on the, that's why we are doing this program in partnership with the BOI. There are criteria at the end of the day. It will now cluster and segregate who and who is benefiting what. Persons that have just 3 staff, 10 staff, more than 10 staff, what is their sales revenue per annum and per month? All these things are going to be calculated. Then based on that, the person now is being grouped. Are you under micro business? Are you on the small business? Based on this and based on the sales projection, it now segregates. We're looking at within 100,000 to up to even I think from 100,000 to almost $1 million, depending on how the person's operation is segregated.
While she advised the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the grant, she described SMS as coping a vital place in driving the economy of any state. The Kogi State Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Olufo, in his remarks, praised Governor YAHAYA BELLO for partnering with the Bank of Industry to cushion the effects of COVID-19. The small and medium enterprises operations go through.
Because of the effect of COVID-19, there was stringent measures. People were not able to move, businesses collapsed, and this is an arrangement put in place in synergy with the state government and the World Bank to give people money to recover from their businesses that they have lost. And so it's a critical time and it's a good program, and we thank God that this program is going on smoothly.
Amongst the beneficiaries who spoke to journalists are Omaiza Habib and Fatima Mosari. They commended the state and federal government for taking into consideration the survival of SMS in the state, very important, and lauded the seamless verification exercise.
First of all, let me commend the Kogi State government under the leadership of His Excellency YAHAYA BELLO. I also extend my appreciation to the KEDA chairman, that is the Kogi State Enterprise Organization, and Ajarikia for this development, because it has really opened a lot of opportunity for the people, especially those that have small-scale business that need government grants. The process is well organized, well coordinated, and the recipients are doing their enumeration peacefully.
Being in ICT, we all understand the recent trend as far as ICT is concerned. By the time this fund is released, it naturally enables us to acquire one of the state-of-art equipment that naturally, fast track our production, and naturally it creates room for more employment because we need to employ others to come in, and that is impacting on others because it's not going to be something we naturally you can keep. The more we produce, the more we impact the life of others. So I am pleading to every beneficiary of this fund to use this fund according to what is meant for, such that the economic activities of Kogi State in general can boost from now on.
The 2,000 SMS entrepreneurs are targeted to benefit from the $6.8 billion COVID-19 Actions and Recovery Economic Stimulus Grant in Kogi State. Faith Abdugafar reporting for MLC TV.
The dual care and HIV prevention initiatives has continued to sensitize young males and females, including students, to stay protected. The Group Executive Director and Board Chairman, Kogi State Agency for Control of AIDS, Roslyn Alabi, said the sensitization is part of activities to mark this year's World AIDS Day at the Government House, Lokoja. The group also worked on the streets of Lokoja to create more awareness and was joined by the network of people living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, NEP1. Our reporter has more.
As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark World AIDS Day, it is estimated that no fewer than 1.8 million Nigerians are living with human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, that causes acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS. And according to the Director General of Nigeria's National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, Gambo Aliu in Abuja, he said available data confirmed a decline in new HIV infections and deaths in the country. He added that new HIV infections are gradually declined from 103,404 in 2019 to 92,323 in 2021. The agency said the federal government had spent more than 18 billion naira in 3 years on HIV capture projects, and HIV no longer kills now as long as people know they have it. In Kogi State, the state government and various NGOs converged and walked on the streets of Lokoja, the state capital, to create awareness and further sensitize people by giving them pamphlets with tips for prevention. After the walk, they also gathered in Government House to encourage people on how best to treat and handle people living with the disease. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Zakari Usman, confirmed that over 43,000 people are living with human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, in the state. He said this is an indication that Nigeria will meet the United Nations target of ending HIV and AIDS by 2030 if people come together to prevent the spreading.
It gives me particular joy to realize that the effort towards ensuring that care and access to all is getting a lot of support and getting a lot of momentum. The government of Kogi State is committed to ensuring that we equalize to end AIDS. Even before the conceptualization of the theme of this year's World AIDS Day, the work had begun. The inequalities we talk about are inequalities across divides, inequalities on account of gender, inequalities on account of religion, inequalities on account of orientation, political and sexual orientation, and all of these towards ensuring that every human have equal access to HIV testing, prevention, testing and treatment services.
The executive member of Network of People Living with HIV and AIDS, Dr. Yunus Ashaidu, urged all sectors to come together in equality to kick HIV out among people. He commended the state government for its resolve to tackle the disease.
There are some people, maybe by virtue of their location, they do not have access to hospitals, and if that is not available, there's no way HIV services can be done. And we thank God in Kogi State here, that is in the past now, because we have so many hospitals that have been built by our governor, the executive governor of Kogi State, YAHAYA BELLO. So we are done with that. Then there are other forms of inequalities. Maybe people, because of their orientations, or because of their sexual orientations, then HIV services are not accessible to them. There are a group of people, female sex workers, we call them key populations, some transgenders, some men who have sex with men, MSM, and some people who inject a drug. These are various group of people that there has been inequality, and all we are trying to do, all that the team of World AIDS Day this year aim to achieve is to eliminate all these inequalities so that everybody can have access to HIV/AIDS services. Then we can now hope that come 2030, the possibility of eliminating HIV will be, is something that will come to pass.
Other members of various civil societies said, with the global theme for the 2022 World AIDS Day, which is Equalize, and the national theme is Equalize to End AIDS, equal access to treatment and prevention services, they call for prompt response of everyone to work together to address inequalities and help end AIDS.
Look at some of our t-shirts, you see that it's written "It's not over," meaning that in as much as we have achieved so much, following the data Pharmacist Bernard also presented about what we have reached, we are saying it's not yet over. We'll keep doing what we can to maintain it and keep it up there.
In our program Beyond HIV Care and Support, we also render what we call the OVC program that takes care of even people that are affected. We use that to encourage orphans and vulnerables to access education, access health, and make sure that they become what they want to become in life. I want to sincerely thank the government of this state for giving us the opportunity to contributing to the development work in general, and also assisting the people of Kogi in particular to make sure that the HIV scourge is controlled.
When you are publicly being recognized by way of giving you an award, it's just calling for more responsibility, and I promise to do more, God helping me.
65% of those who are infected with the virus right now are young persons, especially young women. And so that is the target that we're looking at, focusing on, to ensure that we get to a point where we properly mobilize and capacitate these young persons to be able to take those decisions they need to take. Because one thing about HIV is that 85% of it is through sexual means. And so that sexual means that if you have the capacity to be able to take decisions you need to take, you prevent yourself from getting it. And that's what we're providing for young persons, to say there is a way we can do this that we have not been doing it before. And one of those ways is to mobilize communities to ensure that we reduce stigma, and we ensure that we have the necessary healthcare facilities and healthcare treatment that we have in our facilities, especially youth-friendly facilities. Our healthcare system is not geared towards that, and that's what we're really working on. And that's why we have stakeholders from the Ministry of Health to say, please, can we talk to those persons in your facilities to say, can they provide services that are youth-friendly? Again, to those who are political office holders, who are the resource, who are those who mobilize and allocate resources, we're saying we need to put more money into HIV and AIDS. It's not a very good thing that for the past 6 years, the KOGI Agency for Control of AIDS has not had funding for issues around coordination. Coordination is very important because an entity needs to bring everybody on the table, both implementers, both civil society, both communities, and both the public sector, to say this is how we should go about it. We need more funding to this sector. We need more funding to COSACA. We need more funding to civil society to be able to do their work. And so we're talking to the political office holders by saying, we want you to please allocate more resources.
The spokesperson of people living with HIV pressed home their demands.
We have some challenges that are affecting our members. So to highlight, one, most of us are indigent clients. This group, I must tell you that it's a weak and a vulnerable group of people as a result of the virus in our systems. And we find it very difficult to cope and even difficult to manage with our medications. So we have a lot of things to do at NEP1 level, plans and activities to carry out, but we are handicapped. We are not financially buoyant. Before now, we have support groups where we share experiences, address ourselves, and attend to some issues, especially concerning our health. That was then when there was a support. But for a quite long time, we didn't have support, and this support group has not been existing. So if we are given opportunity, I'm assuring you that most of the services or responses to HIV, we cannot do it ourselves. We have come of age. Then also, we lack mobility. We have our members across the 12 governments in Kogi State. Sometimes we need to meet ourselves and discuss issues, but we are handicapped for mobilization. We need vehicles and motorcycles for all this. So to round up, I want to say that today that we are celebrating World AIDS Day, today is our day, today is our program, today is our anniversary. So we want the good people of Kogi State to show care, love, and support services to people living with HIV in Kogi State. So, thank you.
He thanked the government for their present support.
The government of Kogi State, relevant agencies, stakeholders, individuals and community to see it that as a need to funding HIV/AIDS responses and activities implementation in our dear states. Also, I wish to thank our partners in the state, CIHP and AHF, for their services rendered to us in the health facilities. Our special thanks go to the lead partner, CIHP, for the services rendered to us. And as I'm speaking with you all, most of us, that people living with HIV and AIDS in Kogi State are virally suppressed recently.
The Group Executive Director, Dual Care and HIV Prevention Initiatives and Board Chairman, Kogi State Agency for the Control of AIDS, Roslyn Alabi, said her association has continued to sensitize young males and females, including students, to stay protected. He called for total support to take care of affected people.
And we tell people it is not a death sentence. What we are concentrating now is on children. We have children that, as a result of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, they were infected because they didn't go to antenatal. We want sustainability because very soon the partners that have been, international partners that have been helping us, they are winding up. And by the time they leave the country or they leave the state, it will be very, very terrible. We'll begin to see death here and there. Now, we are not recording death because the therapy, the drug is very, very effective. But by the time they go out from the country, the impact will be so terrible. So we want to own it. We want to own our own drugs. We want to own our own treatment. We want to design our own activities according to our own peculiarity in Kogi State. So we want the government to scale up the funding and then to encourage the IPs that are still here so that they can do more.
She said, if sustainability of services for HIV treatment is improved upon, testing and prevention will increase. Everyone will be well served and taken care of. The organizers used the occasion to recognize the state governor with an award for his doggedness to fight any health challenge cases in the state. The health commissioner, Dr. Usman Zakari, was also recognized among others. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
The National Population Commission, NPC, has launched the revised National Population Policy Strategic Implementation Plan by the Population Advisory Group to control population growth and fertility in Nigeria. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, the chairman of NPC, Nasir Isakwara, noted that the document will help in effective population management. Nasir explained that the document linked all the sectors and other population and development issues to the national population policy, stressing that the role of relevant stakeholders in actualizing the plan cannot be overemphasized. Isakwara called for the need for funding to ensure that the plan's objectives were accomplished. Also speaking at the event, the spokesperson of the Population Advisory Group, Usman Saki, said the revised national population policy and the strategic implementation plans are the guidelines towards the effective population management and conduct of census in the country. The crowned Are Ode of Sangoland, Are Jimomomo, has promised to support all security agencies to ensure sanity and security of life and property at all times. The Are made the promise in an interview with a reporter in Ogun State. He said he has been in the business of ensuring that people and livelihood are protected, saying with the opportunity given to him to serve in the capacity of Are Ode, it can only get better.
Even before the title being given, I have been participate in the secure of property and life. I have once awarded as Ambassador of Peace and Security in Lagos State, Lagos Watch Award. Okay? But with my impact, that is what they gathered together before they give me the title. And I promise to do more than before.
He also took time to explain the significance of the title.
The purpose of the title in the community is to ensure the proper security and the peacekeeping of the area. Are, to be precise, is a title always given to a leader who can control and calm any situation.
The Areode commended the governor of Ogun State for the synergy he has established with traditional institutions and called on the people to support the government and traditional rulers to provide relevant information that will help them to do their jobs better. He thanked the monarch who found him worthy to be crowned as Areode of Sangoland. And on politics, Labour Party in Ogun State has expelled the Director General of the party's Presidential Campaign Council, Doyin Okupe, over alleged non-financial membership status, high-handedness and financial recklessness. The state chairman of the party, Michael Ashade, disclosed this in Abeokuta, the state capital. Ashade said Akupe was expelled along with 10 other members accused of breaching the party's constitution. The party's chairman also accused him of financial recklessness concerning funds approved for the Ogun State Labour Party mobilization of members for the Oyo State rally held last week in Ibadan. On crime, the Federal High Court sitting in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, has sentenced the governorship candidate of the Young Progressive Party, YPP, in the state, Basi Akpan, to 42 years imprisonment for corruption. The presiding judge, Justice Agatha Okeke, convicted the YPP candidate on 6 charges bordering on money laundering, including graft. The YPP candidate has been taken to Ikot Ekpene Correctional Facility, where he is to serve the jail term. Akpan, who is the senator representing Akwa Ibom North East, Uyo, was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, on June 24, 2019, on 6 counts bordering on corruption over the receipt of exotic vehicles estimated at over 204 million naira. Delivering the judgment, the court pronounced that he was to serve 7 years for each of the 6 charges. The judge did not include an option of fine. The jail term is to run concurrently. On the foreign scene, China has accused British lawmakers of gross interference in its internal affairs as a group of MPs visit Taiwan. Members of the Foreign Affairs Committee, after their arrival, met high-level officials, including Taiwan's Foreign Minister, Joseph Wu. Taiwan is a self-ruled, but China sees it as a breakaway province that will eventually unite with it. A controversial visit in August by the senior United States politician Nancy Pelosi enraged Beijing. China responded to that visit by holding its biggest ever military exercises in the seas around Taiwan and also blocked some trade with the island. The Chinese embassy in the United Kingdom said the MP's visit to the Taiwan region of China took place despite Beijing's firm opposition. The statement added that any move to undermine China's interest would be met with forceful response. The comment followed a speech by the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, which he said that the so-called golden era of relations with China was over. A Canadian man already accused of murdering one woman has been charged by the police in the city of Winnipeg in connection with 3 more deaths. In May, police charged the 35-year-old man with killing of 1 victim, 24-year-old Rebecca Konotis. They charged him with 3 more counts of first-degree murder. All of the victims are believed to be indigenous women, Winnipeg police said. The police identified the suspect as Jeremy Skibiki of Winnipeg, who was first arrested on the 18th of May in connection to the murder of Miss Konotis, a member of Ochichak Kosipi First Nation in the province of Manitoba. On sports, let's join Jonah Malik for update.
And on sports update, Oliver Giroud scored against Poland in the World Cup last season clash on Sunday to become France's all-time top scorer with 52 goals. Oliver Giroud, 36, has shared the record with Thierry Henry after netting a double in the defending champions 4-1 win against Australia in their opening Group D game. Still on sports, Senegal have some very talented players, but the biggest weapon the African champions will have against England on Sunday is their mindset. Aliou Cissé side are winners and they have crossed the line twice on 2 huge occasions already this year. This team did the biggest thing they can do for their country when they beat Egypt in February to win the African Cup of Nations for the first time in their history, and then followed it up a few weeks later by beating the same opposition in their playoff match to reach this World Cup. So they have a manager who is loved and a very confident group of players. Whatever happens to them in this tournament now, they will still be celebrated. So they go into this last 16 tie with no fear of failure whatsoever. The pressure is still all on England. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to Akasa for more stories.
Thank you, Jonah. On entertainment, let's join Matthias Ayodeji Peter for the latest.
Crossing over to Africa, sensational artist Asake was billed to perform at a show at the Forum Birmingham in a sold-out show, which is part of his Mr. Money with the Vibes UK tour. The Red Hot artist arrived hours late as he didn't show up at the event until 11 p.m. Asake was met with boos from a section of the fans who were unhappy about the way the organizers went about the show. One Twitter user who attended the show stated that the crowd management was poor and caused a stampede. Some fans were also dissatisfied with Ashake's performance, which users on Twitter jokingly likened to a church praise and worship session. After the disgruntled surfaced online, Asake appeared to take a defiant position, first posting a picture of himself flashing a big smile while displaying $100 notes. He then followed up the post with a screenshot of Ebenezer Obey's famous song, The Horse, the Man and the Sun, which is a song that basically talks about how one can never please the world. Asake has however backtracked as he apologized to Birmingham fans for coming late through his Twitter account. He is billed to perform in London at the O2 Brixton Arena on 15th December, and fans will be hoping that there is no repeat of the event in Birmingham. On our foreign entertainment news, Broadway actor Quentin Oliver Lee has died at age 34. According to an online announcement from his wife, the post comes 6 months after Lee said he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. In an Instagram post on Friday announcing her husband's death, Lee's wife Angie said Quentin passed in the wee hours of the morning. It was the most beautiful moment of her life, that she saw his last breath, held his hand tight and felt his heartbeat slowly drift away. That he had a smile on his face and was surrounded by those he loves. It was peaceful and perfect. Lee's wife did not specify his cause of death in the announcement. In the post, she included an image of her husband and their daughter and called him an incredible man, husband, father, son, brother, singer, and actor. Lee's Broadway's credits include Prince of Broadway and Caroline or Change. He also played the title role in the touring company of The Phantom of the Opera. The production said on its verified Instagram, the Phantom family is saddened to hear of the passing of Quentin Oliver Lee. Quentin brilliantly led their North American tour in 2018, and their hearts are with the Quentin family and friends. And that is all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV. Back to Akasta for more stories.
Thank you, Matthias. The family of late Abdusalam Obaro and Vincent Okolo Umar witnessed the wedding solemnization of their children, Barrister Sabdat Dauda and Michael Umar. First was the traditional at Obaro's compound, Akure Quarters, Ayegunlegbede, in Kogi West Senatorial District of the state, and the church wedding at the Apostolic Church, Okegbala, Ayegunlegbede. It was a glamorous gathering of who is who in the society. Our reporter tells us more.
A wedding is a union between a man and a woman in agreement and is ordained by God. In the African continent and Nigeria, my focus, where we have thousands of cultures and styles of various ethnicities, one thing is common, which is the traditional way of giving out a woman to a man as a wife, which cannot be erased in a hurry from history and will continue. This was not an exception but unique, as Okuman gave his daughter Sabdat to the family of Vincent Okolo Umaru as wife to Michael. This time, the two families were brought together. It was a merriment all day long, as all were conducted accordingly in their conventional way. After then was the church wedding at the Apostolic Church, Okegbala, Ayegunlegbede, where the officiating pastor joined them according to the scriptures from the Holy Bible.
Take you, Michael Moro Sunday, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better for worse, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part, according to God's willing ordinance. Yet too, I give you my truth. With this ring, I do you well. With my body, I do worship. With all my worldly goods, I do you endow. In the name of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
The family, friends and loved ones who witnessed the wedding solemnization of Barrister Sabdat Dauda and Michael Umar were full of joy. They expressed their joy through dancing and singing, as Sabdat and Michael were pronounced husband and wife. The officiating pastor advised them to stick to one another in health and wealth till death. He said unless the two agree, they cannot work. He encouraged the newly wedded not to entertain the third party whenever they face any misunderstanding.
That here is, we keep the truth, faith unto others, and that both we live and abide in a peace according to thy will, ever life in mutual love, or to their life end, through Jesus Christ our Lord.
The parents, uncles and aunties from both the bride and groom praised God and wished them the best in life.
As a mother, as a married woman, patience is the best. Love is the best. Where love exists, no hatred. Love overlooks sin. I advise that they continue to love. The first love on the first day should continue to reign, and they should be prayerful. With love, with prayer, I believe they will work strong. And I wish them all the blessings of marriage. They will be fruitful. They will have enough money to take care of themselves and the family. That's all I wish for them.
Marriage is an everlasting thing. It's a thing you know how you start, but you don't know where it ends. Nobody prays for a broken home. We pray that their marriage will last forever. But most of all, the wife must be, the Bible says the wife should be submissive and be loyal to the husband. And the Bible says the husbands should love their wives, just like God loved the church.
He should love his wife. He should be there for her at all times, and he should be the best husband he can possibly be.
My prayer for her is for her to live long and enjoy a new family. And I also pray for both of them for a truthful and fulfilled and blessed home.
A sponsor and the father of the bride, Abdusalami Hudu, praised God for the successful wedding.
The Lord is so faithful. The Lord is so kind. We have set the date. The date is realized. All our plans working perfectly fine. When the things are fine, they should share it together. When it's a little rough, they should bear it together, because our own God tells us that He has made predetermination of either good or bad. So they have to share it together. And they should learn to share, to resolve issues within themselves. Escalating issues, reporting to Mr. Bride's family, reporting to groom's family will complicate their matters. But to learn to resolve matters within themselves, and the Lord will be with them.
The bride and groom also expressed their joy.
I've known her for the past 3 years. I've not had enough space to express how happy I am, but I just pray that I have a better opportunity to express. I wish I know that will happen shortly after now. My friends, they amazed me. They amazed me. The love was massive. I saw all of them coming in from different parts of the country just to be here, even when I thought they would not be able to make it due to the distance. But they surprised me to the point, and I'm so super proud of them and excited that they came through for me.
Actually, I'm extremely happy, and this is not an occasion that someone can just kind of express the feelings within a twinkling of an eye. I'm going to have the whole day, the whole week, the whole month, and the whole year to express myself, because I'm overjoyed. He's been an awesome guy, and marrying him today is the best decision I have made for myself.
On the premises of the multipurpose hall, Ago Ayegulegbede, was the reception held. From the cutting of the cake, couples feeding themselves and dancing were sparked with glamorous choruses and colors. From the entire MLC TV, we congratulate the latest couples in town and wish them a fruitful home. I am Jane G. Abalagbubu, reporting for MLC TV.
And that is the size of our package for today. Join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Joshua Adenoi. Please continue to be a brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Good day and thanks for watching.